The series starts with an enchanting beauty awaiting someone in the corner of a Tama City Haonu Academy classroom. She contemplates whether she should eat something as she is hungry, and after a bit of pondering, she decides to dig in. A student suddenly finds himself in the Public Moral Committee office room, unaware of how he got himself here, and the young girl welcomes him, telling him that she is the one who called up his soul here. She reveals that she intends to gobble him up, before admitting that she is the daughter of the demon of gluttony, Beelzebub, Canon the Gourmet. She only disguised herself as a member of the public committee as she wanted to find healthy students to devour, instead of trembling down in fear and begging for his life. The other prostrates to express his gratitude for being sacrificed by the seductress demon girl. The guy believes that she is cosplaying a demon and just wants to eat him in a sexual way. She tries clarifying that she isn't here to gobble up some wood, and instead, she wants the flesh all over his body, but she is too late in clarifying herself. By the time she turns to him, he has already stripped her, and she has been a virgin for thousands of years. She doesn't want a lower life form such as him being her first, and checks thoroughly whether she sees him more than the others. She always goes for people's shining souls, and he is no different than the others in that context. Either way, she has herself to blame now, and the other doesn't mind a blowjob or a handjob if she isn't ready for the real thing, as she has never experienced such a situation. The other bribes her so that they can start dating, and that is how her own ambitions imprison her, and now she has to accept the company of a lower life form on lonely nights. Kanan Takakayo is the president of the Public Morals Committee and is greatly admired by the students and teachers alike. Along with stunning looks, she is incredibly athletic and often wins various competitions. However, what her colleagues don't know about her is the truth about her devouring the young souls to satiate her hunger, a demon playing the role model student to attract students. And once they are in her vicinity, she can take advantage of them easily and hold them inside a room to devour them. She is contemplating the taste of a young soul when the guy from before, Kyogi Yaoji, arrives and wants her to go home with him. Kanan is still in shock that she was sweet-talked into dating someone as low as him, and worse, she doesn't have a way out of this situation. She tries arguing with him to get herself away from him, only for the other to reveal that they are in a relationship now. After much thinking, she accepts his demand, but resolves to remind him of his true place, a tiny ant before her. However, she seems to be avoiding him on their way back, and when the other asks about this, she is too embarrassed to respond. She never expected that it would be this embarrassing to walk beside someone she only sees as a meal rather than a life form. With a shameful face, she reveals that she could be subjected to an attack anytime soon, and she is just trying to get behind so she can use him as a meat shield. The other is honored to be of her service and wants her to get closer to him so he can protect her easily. Yaoji asks her to hold his hand since it would be easier for them to walk this way. And now she has got herself in an even more awkward situation. Kanan believes that hand-holding could lead up to making an heir. This retarded girl is so dumb, I swear. She believes that the other is pulling tricks on her, but her pride won't allow her to fear him, so she decides to accept his offer. As she gives him her hands, the other starts daydreaming about spending his life with her and tells her that he can hear almost everything she has in her heart, much to her embarrassment. In the end, she has no choice but to curse him. Kanan is enraged that she has to delve into pointless activities with Yaoji and affirms that she only came to the human realm to devour the finest of souls instead of dating some lowlife. A few months back, Kanan visited her father, Beelzebub, and told him that nothing tastes good in their realm. Her father is worried that she has lost her appetite, and Kanan tells him that if she were to taste something better, she might start eating again properly. She asks him if she can visit the human realm to eat fresh souls, even though it won't be easy, but she wants to take the hard route and enjoy her hard-earned meal. Hearing her request, her father instantly gives his permission, although he warns her to not get into trouble there as he has experienced that sort of situation himself. Before she can leave, he asks whether she has eaten with someone recently, and Kanan assures him that meals are enjoyed better alone. Even though she thought the human realm would be fun, she has a new headache to take care of in the form of Yaoji. The other has tied himself to a knot and had her drag him around to satiate his ludicrous fetish. Kanan was so busy in her thinking that she completely forgot about him. Kanan is mad that he made her out to be some clingy girlfriend, and the other reveals that it was the most stimulating walk of his life. Kanan is once again embarrassed that he had her dance around and made her indulge in pet play. Since they are near the park, Yaoji wants her to stay around a bit longer and wants to do something for her. Hearing this, her head is filled with bizarre ideas. But the other quickly comes back with croquettes as he wants her to taste his favorite ones. Since she isn't used to eating them, he is disappointed by her eating etiquette. Unaware that this is the first time she is eating fast food, Yaoji is suddenly so talkative and his enthusiasm about croquette impresses her. Kanan admits that he has something likable about him after all. She decides to taste the croquette and is amazed that it tastes so good. She has only tasted some bland foods recently, and she didn't expect this to turn out so good. Yaoji also admits that it tastes better than usual and feels that this is because he is with Kanan. Up until now, she had only eaten alone because she thought eating should be eaten alone, but she has come to the realization that eating together has its merits as well. To protect herself from arousing suspicions, Kanan has used her magic to brainwash a family into believing that she is their daughter. They see her as their perfect daughter, while she gets to live in the human realm for free. However, sometimes the magic stops its effect and they question when they got a daughter, albeit she quickly recasts the magic to keep them shrouded from reality. Another fine morning and she gets out to school. She is having her own monologue when she is suddenly approached by Yaoji. She inquires what he is doing there, and of course, he wants to walk together with her to school as her boyfriend. Kanan is enraged that he got her address, and upon inquiring, he reveals that the homeroom teacher gave him her address. As the other is insistent on accompanying her, she sets the condition to catch her up in a run, believing that she still has her demonic powers. However, she is incredibly disappointed that her stamina is no more than a frail human girl, and she is easily caught up by the others. The other checks up on her, but she has to save her dignity as the daughter of the supreme demon and reveals that she is just lagging behind good women who always walk 3 steps behind their partner, unaware that this saying usually goes for a wife. She is astonished that she failed to realize something so simple as this, and lies that she actually knew, further deepening the hole. After being confronted again, she decides it's best to remain silent as her continuous talk only brings ruin to her. Yaoji picks out a bottle since she is dehydrated and offers it to her. She realizes that she should leave some for him, but also knows that it would result in an indirect kiss between the two. Realizing this, she decides to save her dignity for one last time, and swallows her pride, emptying the bottle. She immediately throws it away so the other can't pick it up and fill it again. Yaoji informs his classmate and friend, Masaru Nachika, about his new girlfriend, Kanan, and the other is taken aback as she only perceives him as an antisocial block. Turns out, he has a few moves of his own to land a chick. She is amazed that he is into older girls and inquires how they refer to each other. As a new couple always calls each other by their first name, she expects them to follow the tradition, and just then, Yaoji realizes that they have never used their first name. He immediately heads over to her class and wants her to call him by his first name. She sees this as an opportunity to mock him, but she realizes that he actually enjoys it. Since she wants to show him her kindness, she chooses to call him by his name this time. However, it turns out she can't muster up enough courage to utter his name. Well, how do they turn tables? A self-proclaimed master stooping so low to even get embarrassed over calling a low-life form by their first name. She encourages herself and practices in her imagination, but all of it is of no use as she still fails to deliver. The other realizes that she is just too embarrassed, and to save her dignity, she wants him to call her. The other doesn't even waste a second in uttering her name. And now she is being haunted by his gazes as her days of doom approach. Even though she is embarrassed, she can't hide that she feels ecstatic by being called out by her name, and now she has to respond in an equal manner. Yaoji gets incredibly close to her, so much so that she forgets about the whole fiasco and now fears that she will be charmed by him if it continues. She suddenly gets up, telling him that she is heading over to her home as she doesn't want the drama to drag along for long before calling him by his first name embarrassingly. Kanan spots 2 students being extra close to each other, and as the president of the Public Moral Committee, she lectures them. The others immediately retreat while Kanan is happy about her victory and believes that she will bring the noble order of demons into the academy and cleanse it of the filth humans desire to spread. As low-life forms, they must understand their place, albeit her monologue comes to a halt once Yaoji gets way too close to her and tells her that she shouldn't have reprimanded the others as they were having a good time. She is embarrassed to have been swung by him into this love affair and wants to have her vengeance so he can realize his true place. She suddenly distances away from him and asks about the reason for his arrival. As the two of them are already lovers, Yaoji would obviously crave spending time with her. She is embarrassed that he told her that with a straight face, and the other reveals that they should make their first time memorable, so he is here to decide on that. Kanan's face is flustered at being confronted with such a situation, and she doesn't want to immediately head over to that situation as they should take things there step by step. She asks about his preferred location, and he reveals that he wants to have sex with her at the park as it will bring memories whenever they pass by it. She instantly denies his request as people may spot them. Yaoji then comes up with the idea of a movie theater, but she doesn't like it. When he mentions traveling, her eyes sparkle. Surprisingly, she loves traveling and wants to know where he would be taking her. The other doesn't have such a good idea in his mind as he wants the two of them to head over to a hot spring, and she instantly criticizes his decision, revealing that they can only do such a thing in his room, alone. All this time she thought he was talking about sex. However, the instant he reveals that he wanted a date place, she is dumbfounded and has to pretend that she knows everything. Before heading off, she assures him that she will only visit when both of his parents are home. On a hot day, Kanan gets sweaty during the PE class and Yaoji interrupts, complimenting her that she still looks cute despite the hot weather. Out of the blue, she tells him to stay away as if being disgusted by his presence, and the other worries that he made a mistake that made her hate him. He starts spouting nonsense that she was just after his body, prompting her to shut him up and tell him that she was just not letting him near her cause she reeks of sweat right now. That isn't going to stop him. If anything, he wants to get even closer to her right now as he wants a sniff. Damn, dude. Kanan realizes how weird it is, and the other affirms that the sweat of a cute girl like her is guaranteed to smell good. Yaoji tells her that boys all over the world love the smell of a girl's sweat, further justifying his disgusting fetish, and the other is embarrassed that she got herself into this situation. As she has no other choice, she decides to give him a sniff. As he sniffs the inside of her shirt, Kanan suddenly realizes that a mere human is bargaining like a demon and that she doesn't have to embarrass herself like this. Too late. Even though she knows that she looks like a pervert here, having the boy get on his knees to satisfy his cravings would only look to others as if she is the one forcing him. Her pride as a demon has long faded, and now she can't help but get flustered over this experience. Yaoji has even identified the detergent she uses, and as her towel is dirty now, he wants her to use his one to clean herself up. Just another fetish. As she takes a sniff of it, she is amazed that it smells like citrus but quickly reprimands herself that she will just look like a creep if someone were to see her. Yaoji asks whether his towel smelt of something, and to save her dignity, she responds that it didn't have any impressive odor. In the demon realm, Beelzebub informs his maid, Ami, to go check out on Kanan as he is worried about his daughter. The other isn't hesitant in accepting the job and she instantly departs. After arriving at the human realm, she immediately heads off to Kanan's school as she can sense her presence and finds her playing around with Yaoji. She instantly introduces herself and wants to know more about Kanan's activities. Yaoji is curious about the new face, and Kanan explains that she is her personal maid who has always been around since her childhood. Hearing this, he wants to know about her childhood while Kanan is busy questioning her, confirming why she is here. The other doesn't reveal much except that she was just worried about her as their relationship goes beyond just servant and master. Kanan doesn't want her to get close to Yaoji as Ami is someone who doesn't mind indulging herself in sexual relationships with random people to satiate her urges. She is the ultimate succubi who would get her hands on anyone she targets, and Kanan worries that the perverted Yaoji wouldn't mind offering his body up to her. She instantly warns him to distance himself from the dangerous succubi, and now Ami is curious to know more about him. She is already craving a taste, and Kanan has to get between them to stop her. She embarrassingly admits that Yaoji is her boyfriend, much to the other's astonishment. Ami can see how embarrassed the other is and wants to know whether they have gotten beyond just kissing. And the other reveals that they have only so far eaten together and called each other by their first names, prompting the other to wonder whether they are just preschoolers or something. Ami is confused that she is having such a hard time with boys and instructs her to let him fondle her breasts once in a while. And if she isn't going to make a move, then the succubi will have him all for herself. Hearing this, Yaoji interrupts, turning her down and affirming that the only girl who is allowed to touch him is his girlfriend, Kan. Ami doesn't mind becoming a side girl for him, and seeing the two quarrel, she wonders what would happen if her father were to find out about their relationship. She is amazed that Kanan is having such a good time, and she once again interrupts to annoy Yaoji with her bizarre demands. The following day, Kanan arrives at school only to find students unconscious, as if they are having pleasant dreams. She instantly realizes what has happened and quickly starts looking for Ami. Upon entering the classroom, she finds her teacher indulging in pleasure with Ami. The two swing both ways. Embarrassed that her student ran in on her, she instantly ran away, and Kanan questioned Ami's activities. She is enraged that Ami took all the souls she raised, and tells her that this school is her ranch as she has been feeding and nourishing all the souls in here. The other responds that it is her own fault for taking so long and not feeding herself properly. Furthermore, Ami will lay her hands on anyone who is cute enough, and to counter this, Kanan points out that most students weren't even that cute to begin with. She points out various individuals and Ami compliments them. She will suck anyone off as long as she finds them charming, even if it means an old man who is barely able to walk. Seeing how she sees the best in everyone, Kanan can't help but be jealous of her personality as her company is enjoyed by everyone else. However, she can contemplate later, now they have to care for the landscapes of bodies lying down in the hallway. Since Ami is obsessed with charming souls, Kanan allows her to continue sucking off the staff of their vigor, but she has to keep her distance from the students. Furthermore, she has to complete her duties as her maid from now on, and Kanan asks whether she finds Yaoji charming as well, much to her own embarrassment. Ami can see right through her vulnerable personality and doesn't clarify herself, leaving the others drowning in curiosity. Ami spots Yaoji having lunch with a student other than her master and quickly informs Kanan of this. She arrives at the spot wasting no time. and Yaoji only sees this as fate as she is here to meet his friend, Nadeko. Kanan couldn't care less about destiny right now and demands that he explain himself. Nadeko quickly introduces herself and wants her to call her by her first name. Kanan is disgusted that they are already calling each other by their first name, and Ami inquires whether they are childhood friends, as they have always been together. Kanan confuses this question and Nadeko tells her that she is correct. The two are lovers. Kanan is enraged that she not only snatched him away for lunch but also affirmed that they are lovers right before her eyes. Nadeko suddenly notices the radiating evil aura and quietly asks Yaoji about her. After hearing him call her his girlfriend, she quickly realizes why she is throwing her dagger stares at her and quickly clarifies that they are only together because of their parents. She assures her that they are just childhood friends and that they are neighbors. Kanan once again mistakes her intentions and believes that she is secretly dating him, though she quickly has enough of her babbling and decides to gobble her up to shut her never-ending monologue. Nadeko starts complimenting her as this is the scariest moment of her life, but nothing is helping her. She tries asking for Yaoji's help, but he is also drowned in her appreciation. She suddenly refers to Kanan as Yaoji's wife, and this is enough to deteriorate her demonic persona. Nadeko is glad that she got away with this, and the other is now flustered thanks to her remarks, telling her that she is such a good smooth talker. She has piqued Kanan's interest, and even the great Kanan the gourmet wants to savor the soul of this new lower life form. Kanan informs the self-proclaimed boyfriend that she is going on a school patrol today and he has to accompany her. The other immediately accepts the job, and Kanan has a plan to make him realize his true place as an ant. Her ulterior motive is to domesticate him like a livestock she sees him to be, and suddenly, a student near them trips over. Yaoji instantly helps her out and the other girl expresses her gratitude. Kanan believes that he must be popular since he is being approached by various female students lately and inquires about it, though the other has hardly any idea. Even though it is evident she is jealous of the other's popularity, she tries to manipulate herself into thinking that she doesn't have any problem with it. As they continue their patrol, Yaoji continues stumbling into girls and helping them out. After helping a few of them, Kanan quickly gets irritated and questions why she even brought him in the first place. Suddenly, he helps out a popular girl, Barika, and the other is instantly attracted to him. Kanan is enraged that the series is turning into a rom-com, and is astonished that the grumpy, naive kid Yaoji has suddenly turned popular. To make sure he is still right in his head, she inquires what she is to him, and the other assures her that she is his girlfriend. Now that she at least has some idea that he only has her in his heart, the two continue. Yaoji receives a text from Nadeko, instructing him to stop by her place as she has made his favorite stew, and Kanan can only suspect that she has a thing for him. Seeing her unleash her rage, the other sees this side of her as charming, and she instructs him to never go looking for another girl. She feels comfortable being petted by him, and thus, the great demon was domesticated by her livestock. Kanan is going through feelings of delirium and embarrassment whenever she recalls being clingy to Yaoji, and Ami can only feel pity for her. Her pride as a demon has fallen low, and Ami is worried that if she catches feelings for him, it might be harder for her to devour his soul later on. She had completely forgotten about her ultimate goal, and the other can only point out how stupid she has gotten ever since her arrival to the human realm. Kanan quickly reassures herself that this is a perfect opportunity to make him fall for her, and he will have to offer up his soul eventually. To proceed with this plan, Ami suggests that she go on a date with him, and after a bit of contemplation, she realizes that the plan is destined to succeed. All of a sudden, she is motivated to make him pay for all the shame she had to endure until now, and the spell on her family suddenly comes undone, prompting them to wonder whether they had ever hired a maid. Later, while they are having tea, Kanan informs him that she would be free on the weekend, and is about to ask him out for a date, but she chickens out and mentions something else. After a bit of encouragement from Ami, she continues once more from where she left off, but it isn't helping as she once again couldn't mention date. After a few tries, she gets tired and gives it her all to invite him on a date, while also criticizing how absent-minded he is for not taking a hint. "Girl, you were suggesting a death match to him just a minute ago." She retreats nervously and Ami commends her for mustering such courage. Kanan has brought him to the Sky Tower on their date and reveals that she will execute her plan of turning him into her slave right here. By taking him to the top of the tower, she will take advantage of his fears through the suspension bridge effect. However, what she fails to realize is that Yaoji couldn't care less about the city's looks from up there. Rather, he is simply enjoying the date because she is wearing such cute clothes. She decides to cling to him, but the other swiftly dodges him. Afterward, she tries again and again, but the other continuously dodges her, making her wonder whether he is afraid of looking through the window. He confronts him, and after mockingly encouraging him, she immediately decides to take him to the window. Suddenly, his hands touch her breasts, and she is embarrassed that her secret is out. The other nervously questions whether she is braless, and she is too ashamed to respond. She has to hide her embarrassment and decides to reveal that it was her plan all along to make his heart sprint. The other assures her that whatever she was cooking has worked, and asks whether she can place his hands on her breasts once more, much to her discomfiture. On their first date, Yaoji wants to feed her, and she gets embarrassed that she is being treated like a toddler. Regardless, she has to swallow her pride and accept the gesture. Compared to being braless, this holds nothing and she instantly takes it in her mouth. Though it might be a bit embarrassing, she doesn't regret it one bit. Kanan doesn't like the look of satisfaction on his face and decides to take his revenge. However, it backfires and the other is enjoying their time even more now. After he compliments her smile, she instantly averts her gaze away instinctively and then wonders why she did such a thing. The worst has happened and Kanan realizes that she has fallen for the lower life form. She wants to see his smile once more and tells him that ever since she has started hanging out with him, she has begun to appreciate this world more and more. She wants to feed him once more, and the other gets the wrong idea. Kanan feels that her hearing has gotten worse as she can't pick out all the sounds lately, and the other assures her that her ears are working just fine. As the other doesn't have any idea of her abilities, she reveals that she just doesn't appear coincidentally before the students. Rather, she picks out their sounds and then confronts them. Her devil ears are incomparable to those of humans. Yaoji is clueless about all this and has her rest in his lap so he can clean out her ears. She is shocked that he can casually allow her rest in his lap. But as the other is confident in his abilities, she allows him to touch her. Just as he starts putting his skills to use, she instantly recalls her mother. However, the situation escalates and now she can feel all her sensitive spots being caressed. If this continues on, her moans will give the others a wrong idea and her name will be tainted with shame. The other is enjoying her deep breaths warming his thighs while Kanan has to face the humility of letting moans out of her mouth. The euphoria of being touched by him is driving her crazy, and she can feel passing out anytime soon. Somehow she makes it out consciously and tells him that his skills were good enough. Now, he wants to do her other ear. And the passing Nadeko froze down upon hearing her moans and mistaken them for having sex with each other. Do you think you will confess to her in a proper way to reveal his feelings? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. For more, leave us a like and subscribe to our channel.